This is Crash Canon. I am Chris, the host, and today we have yet another guest. She goes by Mrs. RUVI. Who are you and what do you do?
I expected that intro to be longer. I don't know why. I'm Katie. I'm Katie RUVI. I do lots of stuff. I mom my kids, wife to my husband. I do a podcast called Is This for Kids on EWTN. I do a Sirius XM radio show called Frontiers of Faith for the Pontifical Mission Societies. I'm on the board for Vagabond Missions. I don't know. Oh, and I do a really cool project right now that's called Virtual to Sacramental. We're working on helping people who encounter the Lord online to be able to make the bridge from the online encounter to literally getting a butt in a pew. So
nice.
Cool.
And is the Vagabond one, is that the one that works with prisons and that kind of
Vagabond
stuff?
works with teenagers in inner cities.
Teenagers. Okay.
Yeah, they're really cool. They're not everywhere, but they just opened here where I live in Indianapolis 2 years ago. So if you want to go to vagabondmissions.org and support somebody, they would love it. But like they hang out with kids who are usually not very well off. They provide them with a meal every single time that they hang out. And that meal is very much needed for those kids. And then actually talk to them about Jesus, which is sort of a wild thing to do in the middle of a bunch of teenagers.
Did I spell that right? Vagabondmissions.org.
Vagabondmissions.org. That's my guy.
If anybody's interested, go check it out. Is there any other sites I should throw up on the screen while you're talking about them?
Oh, I don't know. Just go support everybody. I don't know. Nah, that's good for now.
Okay. And if I remember correctly, because we had met at the Steubenville Creator Conference, the Catholic Creator Conference. You were not always Catholic, correct?
No, I'm a convert. So I used to be a Lutheran. And in that, so far to say, like I was confirmed Lutheran, but most Protestants, if you ever meet them, it's just like, what church do you go to? So most of them, us, whatever you want to call it, are less committed to our denomination so much as like, I love Pastor Andy, that kind of thing.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of that goes on. There's plenty of Protestant churches in this area where I live.
Yeah.
And whenever they change pastors, it's like the congregation changes with them.
Yeah. And it's kind of funny. Like when I first converted to Catholicism, I think my mom told people for a while, Katie goes to the Catholic Church now. Like it wasn't Katie's Catholic. It's Katie goes to the Catholic Church, which is fine. I do.
Which kind of Lutheran were you? Were you Missouri Synod? Or,
yeah.
Okay. So like the more kind of like it would be the high church version of Lutheranism, right?
Yeah. So it was very, very, very similar to Catholicism, which they hate hearing because they're like decidedly not Catholic. Like they made a point about it. We are not. But I also did attend like an ELCA Lutheran church when I was in high school for a little while.
That's the Evangelical Lutheran?
Evangelical Lutheran Church in America, yeah.
So that one's the more New Agey Lutheran version, right?
I mean, it's not even that. I think it might be now, but when I was going, they were still like having can we have lady priests or lady pastors fight? And the answer was no. So I don't know if they've changed it since then because I kind of stopped following the Lutheran politics, unfortunately.
And what year did you convert?
What year did I convert? I converted in 2017. Hey, it's Liz. My friend Liz is in your chat. Say hi, Liz.
What's going on, Liz?
Liz is the best.
So yep. I had a friend in Missouri Synod, the Lutheran Missouri, whatever, how you say that.
Lutheran Church Missouri Synod. Mm-hmm.
Lutheran Church Missouri Synod. Okay.
CMS.
And he said very similar things to what you're saying, is that it was so similar to Catholicism that when he swapped over, in fact, some of the Novus Ordos he was attending felt a little less reverent in his mind than what he was attending before.
Oh, really?
Well, because he had, I guess they were like a very, very traditional community where he was attending. And when he switched over to the Catholic Church, he went to just like, oh, whatever Catholic Church, they all do the same thing. No, they don't. But
yeah,
they all do the same thing when it comes to sacraments. But there's a lot of variation.
And even then, like, you know, your confirmation might happen in 8th grade or sophomore year or when you're 7. It could go any kind of way now. We're just getting crazy.
Yeah, he was just surprised to see like how much variance there is amongst the Catholic churches and the masses. So
yeah, it is a little surprising.
Yeah, I mean, especially
if you're told that like the Catholics have this evil overarching like octopus arm thing, like they're in control of everything. Like if we could only be so powerful as we are in the minds of Protestant Sunday school teachers, that would be so amazing.
Yeah, there was like this moment where when he was watching like a film, he's like, it's all in Latin. It's an old school, like, 1960 style mass. And he was like, that's not what I went to. Like, this is different.
That never happened. Yeah, that happens whenever I watch Mad Men and you see those scenes from what's that girl's name? The main girl. Crud. Elizabeth
I
Moss's.
watched Mad Men, to be honest.
Oh, you shouldn't. You should. It's not holy, but I like it. Gosh, why can't I think of her name? Peggy.
Peggy,
Olson.
okay.
Her family's like Brooklyn Catholic. And so when I watched that show first before I converted and then again after, and I was like, they're all so proud to have the priest over for dinner. Like you would think that it was just the thing. And our priest comes over for dinner anytime we ask him. So it's not that big of a deal.
In fact, more people should be inviting their priest over for dinner. That's a good idea.
You should invite your priest over for dinner. They like dinner.
They have to eat, unless it's a fasting day. Mine
always brings gummy bears. If you invite him over, he's like, I don't know what to bring. I've brought 15 pounds of gummy bears. Like,
for you or the kids?
Yes. Both of us. It's for everyone. Gummy bears for everyone.
A funny story about gummy bears. When my brother-in-law and my wife were younger, he hid gummy bears in his room in like a safe or something. It was like a kid's safe. And she stole them one by one while he wasn't paying attention.
I have that behind my closet right now. I have like what looks like a cooler, but it has a combination lock on it so that my kids can't get in it because I have a lifetime supply of jelly beans. Like I've sectioned them out into small thingies and I take out one every quarter or so and eat them a few at a time.
Like, forget the 401k. I got the jelly bean retirement plan.
So many jelly beans. Exactly. And Nazi gold, obviously.
Yeah, clearly. All right. So on that note, though, so you converted in 2017. What was the driving factor for you guys? Or I'm assuming you both converted at the same time, your husband and you, or
we did not.
You did not. Okay.
Yeah, I've told this story before, so I apologize to your viewers if they've heard it. I was convinced to convert to Catholicism by Mormon missionaries. So.
Okay. Yes. Yes, I do recall this conversation occurring. I do. Yeah.
Yep. When I first moved here, a friend of mine, I moved to Indiana. I had no friends. I was super lonely. And my friend, Brittany, who is LDS, sent missionaries to my house so that I wouldn't be lonely. And they were very nice kids. Like they're 20 years old and it was fine. But, they were talking to me and they've got their Matthew 16:18 and they're like, this was revealed to you by my Father in heaven. And I tell you the truth, you are Peter, and on this rock, blah, 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 blah. And they're like, see, God intended to build his church on the rock of personal revelation. And I'm like, nobody who's reading this in English reads it that way. Like, dude's name wasn't Rock and he called him Rock. Like, and they're like, well, so what do you think it means? And I was like, well, he's going to build his church on Peter. And he's like, yeah, but you're a Lutheran. So why aren't you a Roman Catholic? And I was like, well, because they got evil in the 1500s, which is the party line. It all went downhill. And then suddenly the Holy Spirit decided the very next line was going to be meaningful to me in a way that it had never been before. It's not that I hadn't read it. I was a good Protestant. But where he says the gates of hell will not prevail against it. I'm like, hey, either Jesus doesn't know or he's lying. One of those cannot be true. Neither of them can be true. So I have some concerns. And the Mormons are like, yes, we agree. We just think it happened as soon as the last apostle died. And they're all apostates until the blah, blah, blah. So I was like, well, I'm going to pray about it. Come back in a week. And they were so pumped. They were like coming back the week later thinking, we got her. We're going to do some baptisms. And I was like, bad news, guys. Because I spent that week looking stuff up online and listening to then Father Robert Barron, because I'm old, and Catholic Answers Live, and Father Mike Handsome Pants, and just got all the answers to the questions that I had. And I was like, sorry, guys, I'm going to have to become a Catholic. So I went to my first Mass on Divine Mercy Sunday, 2016. And I got the very uncomfortable experience of like going to the parochial vicar and being like, hey, I'm so excited. I had this revelation. I really want to join the church, blah, blah, blah. What do I do? And when you're Protestant, it's just like, oh, we have a class on Sunday and then you're received 2 days later. And they're like, you can, that's great. So happy to see, we'll see you in our CIA in September. And I was like, what? And they're like, yeah, and I was like, well, what do I do until then? They're like, I don't know, hang out, be groovy. Like there was nothing there. So I just spent I went to Mass, but didn't receive the Eucharist, obviously. My friend Katie went with me and sat in the crime room and explained what was happening in the Mass. And then listened to a lot of Catholic Answers that summer. So that by the time I started RCAA, it was like, I know more than you. I felt like that Nick Offenberg thing. There you go.
Nick Offerman, the guy that goes to Lowe's. Yeah.
Yeah. When he goes to Lowe's and he's like, I definitely know more than you. That was me. But it's okay.
I have felt that before. I've gone to a Lowe's, asked for something, and they gave me the wrong thing. I'm like, what are you doing? But anyways.
Right. Yeah. So that's like the project that I was telling you about before that we're doing, the virtual to sacramental, is for people like me who churches are just not prepared to receive somebody who's been catechized online. They have a tendency to view like an online conversion as less than, or as not real, or possibly like you're a radical, like you could have gotten radicalized online. So they approach you with either skepticism or fear, or just like disinterest, instead of like meeting you where you are and being like, hey, that's so exciting that you had this exciting, thing online. I'm so glad for you. Let me help you. Let me plug you into some things. Here's our, our next church social is this time. Here's a Bible study you could join, blah, blah, blah. Like there's just not that. It's just see at RCIA.
I think it actually would be good for the churches to connect like people who really know what they're talking about as like a one-on-one mentor during RCIA, as opposed to just being like, I brought my brother who's been Catholic as cradle, or whatever it is, whatever their is, and like connect them with one-on-one mentors to reach out to, kind of like AA for converts.
Exactly. AA for converts. You can't tell anybody about it. It's really important that you keep this conversion to yourself. Yeah. I mean,
not like that though.
Yeah. But they have like, it is possible to go around the RCIA process. Like the way my husband converted, because we didn't convert at the same time. He's Mexican. So he was born Catholic, baptized Catholic, but his parents got divorced. And so, you know how that goes. Like just now the church isn't true.
Things kind of fall apart.
Yeah, things fall apart. So his parents didn't take him at all. But he likes to tell me he was Catholic before I was, which is really annoying. So like I had been Catholic during that year, and I had maybe a little too much wine one night and started crying and was like, why did you just join the church? You're slight, you're Catholic with me. And he's like, all right. I mean, I go to mass every week. I could just figure out what I got to do to get in the door. And I was like, oh, that's great. And so he didn't even actually, our RCIA director that week came up to him and was like, hey, you're here every week and it's February already, but we could just receive you at Easter because you're always here and you were baptized. Like, let's just do this. So like, there's a way around it. We just need to explore that way a little more often.
Well, like a friend of mine hung out with, it was one of the, I'm not going to name him or the place he went to, but basically he went to a place where they like, basically it's all monks.
Oh,
and
sure.
they had him converted in like 4 weeks.
They call those monasteries.
Monasteries. Sorry, my brain wasn't getting there. Anyways, yeah, he converted in like a month or so.
Oh wow! At the monastery, he stayed at the monastery for a month, and it took him.
No, he drove there every day, and if he missed a single day, they told him they wouldn't do it.
Nice. Hey, we have a friend.
Yeah, Mr. Lepanto.
Do you talk to chat during your thing or no? Should I stop doing that?
No, we can. I just don't like to do it so much that I'm interrupting my guest.
Oh, so. I love talking to chat. Hey guys.
Yeah, but Mr. Lepanto, he deserves a shout out. He's a good dude.
Nice.
And nice video work on the Baptism Saves music video. Shout out to him. Go check it out. That was Braden Cook's video with Mr. Lepanto. Good work.
So proud.
Anyway, yeah, rah. Baptism does save.
It does.
Whether you like the music or not, it doesn't matter. Baptism saves.
True story.
All right. So on that note, you guys are both. So when did he was like a year later, or how long?
Yeah, about a year. He literally the next year. Yeah, he came in 2018. It was great. Like he didn't go through the whole RCIA process. He just went on the retreat to a monastery, as it turns out.
Nice.
St. Meinrad Monastery just down the road, and we go there. And then he was received in the church, and now we're all just super Catholic. And I'm bad at decorating, so all of our decorations are just pictures of Jesus and Mary.
Well, I don't think any Catholic's going to hold that against you. I mean, my goodness.
Right. People come into my house and they're like, what is happening in here? I'm like, don't freak out. I'm just really bad at decorating. It's the only thing I know to like. I'm like, look, pictures of Jesus. Although one of the girls, I was her confirmation sponsor. She's my sponsee. I don't know what the word is there. But she's now, she does a lot of like print art. She went to school to like learn to be, she like carves them, and it's really cool. So now I have some of her art in my house that's mostly raccoons at this time.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, on that note, after you converted and after your husband converted, how long after that did you start doing things with social media and media in general?
Yeah, so I started doing a Twitch stream. I did a cooking show on Twitch, and it was never intended to be Catholic. It wasn't Catholic. It's still not Catholic. I mean, I don't do it anymore often. I think of like once or twice a year I'll go
Was
live
this
now.
before or after you converted?
After.
After.
Yeah. So what year was that? That was maybe 2018, the summer of 2018, like right after my husband converted. But I was just like doing it because my husband was watching Twitch, and I found out that like we were all watching the same live stream of guys playing Fortnite in England, and it was really fun. It was like a cool community, and I really liked all the people, and I wanted to hang out with them more. And so once that stream was over, it was 3 hours a day, and when that stream was over, everybody's like, somebody else go live so we can hang out. And I was like, I can go live from my cell phone. I'll make cookies for you guys. So I like turned on my camera on my cell phone, and I made cookies, and I just made chocolate chip cookies. And one of the guys in the chat donated money to me and was like, you're good at this. You should buy a better camera than what you have. And I was like, okay. So, yeah, we just decided to slowly invest in building up the stream. And so I streamed for 5 years, doing a cooking show that was not intentionally Catholic. It's just I'm Catholic. And so stuff sneaks in. And then I ended up finding more Catholic creators and ended up doing more explicitly Catholic things. So there you go. And
was Twitch how you got connected with John Blevins, or?
Yeah, that's a terrible story.
Oh no,
John, not really, but John and I were both streaming on Twitch. He had more followers than I had because his brother, and he got raided one night and it got really big, but he was still working as like a director of evangelization. So he had a day job. Like this wasn't his real job when he was doing it. He was just going live for like 30 people and playing games when his kids were asleep. And I was going live 3 days a week, like consistently. I had 75 plus viewers every single time. Like it was a big deal for me. And my church invited John Blevins to come speak about being a Catholic online at like a parish retreat or whatever. And I was like, why is he getting hired? Like I'd go here. I would be free, just so you know. And they didn't realize no prophet gets any love in his home country or whatever it is. And John texted me and was like, I think I'm at your parish. I think your parish hired me to talk to them about online event. Why did they ask you? And I was like, I don't know. So that was the first time I think I'd met him face to face, because I'd only ever talked to him through Twitter and Twitch. And then we became friends, and now he's my tiny infant brother.
Tiny infant brother. Yeah. If you guys didn't know, Mrs. RUVI is about like 7 feet tall, and she can bench about 500 pounds.
It's down to like 460 because Christmas, and I took some time off. I was doing the marathon training, so you lose some.
Yeah, right. The benching wouldn't have been good for the marathon training.
No, it's not good for it. It'll slow down a little.
Anyway, that is funny that you mentioned that, because like I would be willing to bet you 90% of the parishioners I go to church with have no idea I do a podcast.
Yeah, it's fine. Nobody cares. But then I found out later, like the evangelization director, she left our church, but somebody told me afterwards, they're like, oh, well, now that she's gone, maybe they'll ask you to do like some talks every now and then. I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, oh, she was blackballing you. Like she didn't want you to do anything. I was like, why? Because I never had a negative conversation with her. I had no idea. She's like, and so they said, well, she felt like you always wanted to do whatever it was that you wanted to do. And I was like, what does that mean? No one ever asked.
That's even funnier.
I don't know.
It's almost like
I have diva demands and I didn't even know.
It almost seems to me like sometimes the older generation just thinks we want what they have, and so they don't want to give it to us.
Maybe.
I've seen this sometimes, like occasionally, like you'll ask for something and they'll be like, no, just because you're a millennial. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of assumed that like if I were to walk up to somebody at church and be like, hey, I know some Catholic people. I'm like minorly Catholic famous, not even close to as good as some of, but like I have some famous people in my phone. Maybe you want me to do something. Like that feels like a jerk thing to do. Like who does that? Why do you think you're so cool? You should just invite yourself to be a speaker? No. So no one ever asked, and so I never did. But apparently that gave me a bad reputation with this one woman.
For the record, if anybody ever asked me, I probably would be very anxious about it. So there's that. But yeah. Speaking on a screen, I feel like nobody's watching. But when I stand in front of people and I can see them, I'm like, oh no, I know all these people.
Oh no, they know things about me.
Well, the sad thing is I used to do music and I go up on stage and do that. So like I should be good at this thing, but whatever.
Well, do you do music for your parish?
No, not for the parish. Like literally I would write music and do stuff like that.
Oh, Well, you
like
should
the
do
fun
that.
shows. Yeah, well, Enoch and I have talked. We'll see what happens.
You should just walk up to whoever is the most grouchy old lady at the parish and just offer, because apparently she might be keeping you from doing something.
She might be the grouchy lady. Oh,
She didn't seem grouchy.
I'm not calling anybody out, okay?
She was grouchy. Like, I really didn't know she was mad at me to this day. Evelyn, I'm sorry. I don't know what I did.
You're like, but now I'm not naming any of my kids Evelyn. Sorry. No.
I don't think I can have any more. I'm elderly now, so whatever.
I thought you were younger than John. What the heck are you talking about?
I'm older than John. It's just my favorite game to tell people that he looks older than me.
Do you know what my favorite Twitter account is lately? Maybe you've never seen this account, but there's one called Susan from the Parish Council. It's like a parody account.
Oh, that's like an old one, isn't it? Did it get
might be. It might be. I've seen it come up a few times and I'm always just laughing because it's like it's just the most brain dead boomer takes, like obviously parodying like real boomer takes occasionally, but
that one got like a lot of traction back when clerically speaking was a huge thing, and they were like, you shouldn't do that, that's not nice. And so I think it died for a little while, and since they've been gone it might have revived. Your wife is the one who told me that, Chris. I wouldn't have known but for the fact that your wife told me.
You know, I still gotta have Chris on this podcast. I'm sorry, Chris. I've been slack-a-lacking, and I need to get you on here. And by the way, you guys go to the same parish? I did not know that.
Yeah.
Is that why you two carpooled to stuff?
Yeah, and because I don't like to drive. Chris is really nice.
He is a nice guy. He's a super nice guy. In fact, he only made it in one picture. That's how nice of a guy he is, because he was busy taking everybody else's picture.
Yep, that's
at the
true.
Conference.
I don't think I'm in
shout out to him.
His pictures.
You don't think you're in any of his pictures?
I don't know, in any of all the conference pictures, I don't think, other than like that one time when I was on stage, but for the most part, I think I stayed out of them, which was good.
All right. So how did you not convert? We already did that, but how did you go from Twitch cooking to your Catholic-based podcasting and shows?
Yeah. So the story about how John stole my thunder at my parish became known to a friend of mine who does another podcast called Bropostles. A guy named Ethan Stevie heard about that. And Ethan had a similar experience where his co-host was invited to his diocese to give his talk. And he was like, what in the world? And so around the time that I had told him that story, he invited me to a like get together of Catholic creators that was being put on by, for lack of a better word, like a right-wing dark money kind of, like not really, not that at all, but like a guy who wanted to back Catholic content. And so he was like getting people together and trying to figure out what he could make out of this. And so they invited me to come and be a part of it. And I ended up at a table with people that I had no business being at a table with. Like it was like me, and then Keith Downey, who's a grassroots Catholic on Instagram. He's very, very popular. Or he does Guadalupe Radio Network now, so he might not do as much on Instagram anymore. And then Katie McGrady was on the other side of me, and I was like, "What am I doing at this table?" And Katie got a call from Inez San Martin at the Pontifical Mission Societies, who was like, hey, Katie, do you want to come to India with us? We want a social media person to come with us to like, raise awareness about the missions. She's like, I cannot go to India right now. My kids are doing stuff. She's like, other Katie, would you like to go to India? And I was like, there's no shot they're going to invite me. So she gave my number to Inez, and Inez looked me up and saw that I had like at the time 20,000 Twitch followers, and she's like, good enough. Like, you can come. And I was like, okay.
Good enough. 20,000 is a lot. For people who don't know, Twitch is not easy to build. So the 20,000 is a lot.
Yeah, I did really well in Twitch. I really loved Twitch. I got to go to like TwitchCon and be on the main stage with Dream and like all this other cool stuff. So that was neat. But then around the same time, I kind of got a stalker on Twitch, and I was like, I kind of need to get away from this. And I couldn't figure out how to make it work. And there were lots of different things going on at that time. And that got sent to India, and that got turned into a podcast because I had just made a podcast about the stalker so I could learn how to be a podcaster. And I was like, cool, I know how to do this now. They want one, I'll make one. And then sort of all snowballed from there. I just keep being in the wrong place at the right time, I guess, or the right place at the right time. I don't know. There you go.
Honestly, like that is half the battle, is being in the right place at the right time. I don't think most people realize just how important that actually is.
Oh, that's my favorite thing about the Catholic Creator Conference. Can we plug that for like 30 seconds?
Absolutely.
I'm not in charge of it or anything, but one of my favorite things about the Catholic Creator Conference is like you have the opportunity to meet people who might know somebody who might need your skill. So like even if if you're an editor and this person might know somebody, might know John Blevins who needs an editor, like that kind of thing. It's just if you can get out of the idea of just talking to people who have content just like yours, or who agree with you politically, or who agree with you liturgically, and you can like actually just talk to a bunch of different people and make friends and be kind to people, which is the whole concept of the conference, you can do so much to like further yourself and to help other people and to get to know like cool things that advance the gospel. It's just so cool.
Yeah, it's the slogan is get within and crossed out strangling hugging distance.
Hugging distance.
And these guys like to always supply us with a healthy amount of drinks. So shout out to the Tridentine, however you pronounce that word.
Yeah, everybody was so hype about it. And I was like, I've never had it before. So I don't even know where to find it. Is it everywhere?
It is in the Midwest. I believe that the guys actually are in the Illinois area, but they produce in Wisconsin. So it's distributed through Wisconsin.
Oh, we film Is This for Kids in Illinois. I should, somebody get me a phone number. I'll call somebody.
I can definitely help you with that actually. But, cool. And I'll make sure Trevor's good with that, but I'm sure he would be. Anyways. Oh yeah, here we go. I'll never miss a creator conference ever. I might not be at the next one, but I do want to be at it. It's actually like literally the timing is bad because we have a baby due in April.
Yeah, my daughter's high school graduation party is that weekend, so I can be there Thursday, Friday, but I gotta bounce by Saturday.
That makes sense. Yep, family comes first, and I did try talking to Kyle. We'll see what happens. I may or may not make it. It totally depends on the baby and all that.
For sure.
But it's awesome. Everybody should go. That is it. Well, everybody, creators in the Catholic space should go. Not everybody. Yeah. If you're not a Catholic creator or you're not Catholic at all, probably shouldn't.
Don't go to that. That would be weird for you. It'd be super strange.
It might be very strange.
Yeah.
You might learn a few things, but you probably shouldn't be there.
There were some really good singers, though, like guys who could just really kill it during the mass. They were just singing from the back of the room. Like, who is that guy? It was cool. I liked it.
Did you know that I was in the back row, or are you just saying? No, I'm just kidding.
I took a video of that guy, and it was not you.
I know. I was joking.
Okay. No, but
I was in the back row, but it wasn't me. That's how
I got to meet you. You took me to get coffee.
Yeah, we got to meet a few other interesting people while we were there too.
Yeah, that's right. Who did we run into? We ran into David.
I don't know if he wants us to say his last name.
Oh, right. David, that's famous.
I will be interviewing this. I will be interviewing that guy in about a month. Yeah.
Oh, I love him so much. I wanted to have him on Frontiers of Faith, but now we're like real weird about specific. Like we want only people who are in mission territories and only people who are native to mission territories. So I can't have visitors anymore.
We could plug the other person that was there was Franco.
That's right.
He was there with us at the coffee shop. He was cool.
Franco was there. He's a good egg. He's coming with me this summer. We're going with the Family Missions Company, we used to interview missionaries on Frontiers of Faith from Family Missions Company every month. And so Franco, me, Evan, and my son Micah are all going to Mexico this summer to do a mission trip. It's going to be cool.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
That guy is one of the best editors in the game, and he never shuts off work.
Never.
So Evan too. Evan as well. He's another really great editor. Or actually just a great creator in general. Mm-hmm. And he's blowing up.
He has a very good egg. We shared an Airbnb with them in Rome when we went for the digital missionaries thingy hopper jubilee, whatever. And there was one time I got up to pee in the middle of the night at like 3:00, and Franco's at the table just like doing his, like, bro. First of all, I'm really sleepy and you shouldn't be out here. I'm elderly and just go away. It's weird, but he's really good.
Yeah, like I said, the first night of the creator conference, there's a selfie of him, myself, Evan, Andrew from the Council of Andrews, and Sarah Stock, because he was like, hey, let's go to McDonald's. And I looked at my watch and it was like 2 a.m. and I was like, you know what? I actually don't have any responsibilities while I'm down here. Why not? And so we walked to a McDonald's at 2 a.m. Like he literally never shuts off. He's one of those types of people.
The man needs to sleep. The man needs to sleep.
Yes, he does. Anyway, that was a fun conference. And anybody who is a creator, definitely in the Catholic space, you should definitely go to the
Absolutely.
Catholic Creators Conference. And you can get there by, I think it's literally CatholicCreatorsConference.com.
Yeah. And if somebody happens to see this, like if you have a business or whatever that you wanted to like find people that you could do collaborations with, or that you could do like sponsorship deals with, like you really like, you're missing an opportunity to go find all of these people that would be low hanging fruit, perfect for what you need. Go do it.
Yes, absolutely. And if you want to know more, I've interviewed Kyle twice. So go back in my podcast space and you can find me and him talking about this more than once, including his conversion story, which he's told 1,000 times. But either way.
Pizza.
Yeah, pizza. Pizza did it for him. Which means that you guys should all be buying more pizza and bringing it to teen events. That's what it means.
That's true. I edit a podcast for the Archdiocese of Indianapolis called Pizza and Side Hugs. That is a youth ministry podcast. They just talk about youth ministry, and they're really good. I'm not on that podcast. I just edit it. But yeah.
One of the things that was pointed out to me is that when it comes to being a Catholic creator, part of it is actually doing things in your own community.
Yeah.
And I think that is a valuable thing, and your prayer life and all the other things that make you Catholic, they can all be something that contributes or supports what you're doing in the media space. That way, what you're doing in the media space is only an additional thing, not something that takes away from your actual Catholic community and faith.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's big. I think one of the things that's really great about the Catholic creators community is that most people there are Catholic first. I don't want to say that in the wrong way, because it's not like people who are big creators are not, but like their first thought process is wanting to be in prayer and wanting to be in mass and wanting to be with their own parish community. And then they create content on the side where there's something to be said for that. Kind of like this last year, rather in 2025, I've been really like toying with the concept of what's the difference between a Catholic influencer and a digital missionary. And I think that there is a big difference. Not that one's better than the other or that one's bad, just that there's definitely a difference, and maybe we need to explore that a little bit. And I feel like the Catholic Creator Conference has a lot of digital missionaries.
Now, what would you say the difference is then?
Oh yeah, okay. So I would say the difference, somebody asked me this for the research recently. I would say a Catholic influencer is a person who creates content and attempts to change the culture or people's personalities or people's buying habits, people's behaviors, and they do it through the lens of Catholicism. So Catholicism is the vehicle by which they attempt to influence people. And this doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. They can be using Catholicism to influence people to pray more or to, support Catholic artists or things like that. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's not, their goal isn't to reach people for the first time for Jesus Christ and to go into spaces where they are maybe hostile. Whereas if you have a digital missionary, this is a person who's willing to be Catholic in a secular space. So to be obnoxious about it, like when I'm doing a cooking show on Twitch, that's technically being a digital missionary. Like that's not the purpose of me being there. I'm not there just like to make Catholic content. My audience isn't Catholic. I'm not reaching for Catholics. I'm reaching for people who, care about the content that I'm making. And also I'm being Catholic at the same time. I'm offering Jesus Christ out of context, outside the church. You can't be a missionary inside the church. You have to be outside the church. So there you go. That
makes sense. And that's like that whole talk that John Blevins gave at the conference about pre-evangelization.
Yeah, I think John's really onto something with what he's doing. I think it's important and it's good. I think it's hard for female creators. I know you get a lot of crap for talking to women. I'm so sorry. So sorry with the ovaries, guys.
You should make the joke you made on Twitter now.
Does it help that I used to be a man? My maiden name. My maiden name was man. But yeah, like women, it's hard to be a digital missionary for the same reason it's hard for women to be physical missionaries, because it's dangerous, because you have, your primary responsibility is to your children. And so you have to sort of make, I had to quit doing Twitch at a time when I was really, really loving it, really enjoying it. And I was doing really well at it, but it wasn't good for my kids. And it was putting me in a position where I couldn't be a good mom. So I was like, okay, this has to go. And that's hard to do. So, yeah, I forgot where I was going with that.
Well, maybe you already did a conversation about the stalker, but how did that affect your social media? Because I think that's more unique to women than men when it comes to like doing online content.
Yeah.
Men don't usually, I mean, it does happen, but men don't usually have to worry about developing, not developing, that's a bad way to say it, but accidentally finding themselves being stalked.
Yeah, and it was really weird for me because like my husband and kids were always on the stream. Like there was no, I'm not available. Like I
Right.
wasn't dressed inappropriately. Not that, first of all, you could be butt naked on the internet and not be asking for it. That's not what I'm saying. But like, I don't think I put off a sexy vibe. Like that's just not, I'm more of like your goofy friend that you knew in middle school kind of vibe. But for a lot of people, that experience the world mostly through an online lens, they're just very, very, very lonely. And I think that's the case with this guy. Is I don't think he had any ill will. I think he just had a tendency to lie about what was going on in his life. And then when I felt like I was uncomfortable with the fact that he was lying to me, and B, that he was like sending gifts that were inappropriate, and feeling like he should have more control, like I should be constantly talking about him on the stream, that kind of thing, he started to get really possessive and weird. And I think that that's just a compounding of the fact that, you know, some people are extremely, extremely lonely. They don't get to talk to a lot of women, and it's hard to talk to people who are very different than you, and women and men are very different. So it's weird. And they overstep. Like it's very easy for that. And I think we need to have a better, I don't know, training on how to talk to people of the opposite sex.
Yeah, I definitely would agree with you on that. There's a level of lack of social cues in some generation, especially the COVID hit some of these kids hard. But
yeah,
the digital like online landscape has changed everything, because not only is your content and entertainment online, but some of your friendships are online. And now a lot of dating is online. Like my wife and I, not online dating. That's not how we met.
Yeah.
I can't even relate to people trying to do online dating, because that just wasn't what I had to do.
Yeah, it's very odd. I have friends who are dating dating people they met through apps or that they met online and things like that. And then they have this whole like extra thing that we never had, where it's like, when do you ask for a FaceTime? I'm like, what do you mean when you ask for a FaceTime?
When do you ask for a
What does that mean? You just FaceTime them, you just press the button and it goes. Is it a thing? You have to ask permission? It's not a thing I understand, but thank God I cut the last chapter out of Nam, man. I got married when I was 22 and never looked back.
Yeah, I mean, my wife and I, we got engaged. She was 21, and we got married at 23. So, like, yeah. I mean, and I'm, for the record, I'm not going to ask you to tell how old you are, but I'm 33, and so.
Mom.
What was that?
He said I could be your mom. I'm 41. I will be next.
I don't think so, unless you're talking like Prophet Muhammad type relationship. I don't think you could be my mom.
Gross. That's true. Just biologically, I'm pretty sure it's not possible either.
That's what I'm saying.
Nope, I don't think so. But yeah, I'm 41. There you go. Well, I will be January 21st. Please send presents. I love my birthday.
Well, then you're only 7 years older than me right now. So
I know. Yeah, you're a baby millennial. I'm an elder millennial.
And so technically speaking, they keep pushing when Gen Z starts backwards for whatever reason. I used to be like dead center of the millennial generation, and now I'm like towards the end of the millennial generation.
That's because I think it depends on when you got the internet. Like, I think that's the super defining factor. If you were mostly cooked by the time you got the internet in your house, not at school, but like at your house. Like I got the internet, I think in 7th, 8th grade, maybe, in my house. So I was mostly cooked by the time we had that. And even then it was AOL. So like, it wasn't the internet we have now.
Yeah, I got really early exposure to the internet because my dad worked on that kind of stuff for a living.
Yeah.
He was an IT guy, worked with database management, that kind of a thing.
Nice.
And because of that, we always had like computers in the house. Like I can't remember a time when there wasn't a computer in my house growing up.
I think we had one when I was real little. My dad was in the Army, and he was big. He's like an early adopter of all sorts of stuff. And I think we had one. We had Word Muncher. I remember
now, the good thing is I couldn't actually use it for anything but like a little bit of gaming, like Age of Empires. We talked about that offline. Yeah. Because the internet required the modem, and my mom used the phone a lot. So, and you get the, that horrible noise.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember because we were talking about StarCraft, we were talking about real-time strategy games before the thing started. I love StarCraft, yada, yada. I don't need your judgments. But like, it was years after I went to college and found out that like StarCraft there was an online version of StarCraft that you could play, because I only ever played the campaigns and then against the computer. So I played like the story mode and then I played against the computer. But they're like, oh yeah, you know how you play against the computer? You play against other real people. I was like, no freaking way. And then in my dorm room in college, I was like, I'm never leaving. I live here now. I did, but yeah.
Okay, here we go. We have a couple comments I'm going to pull up here. So we have a question for you from Daniel. What's the least impressive thing you've ever done?
The least impressive thing I've ever done? I mean, I tie my shoes. That's not very impressive. I don't know what the question means. I've done a lot of unimpressive things. Let me think.
All right. Well, while you're in the middle of that, I will give Daniel some credit here. This is a great idea for anybody looking for the one. If you're in college, go to the Newman Center. At least check it out.
That's true. There's women there. I've seen them. There's
a lot of them there. My aunt used to work in one of those, and they had a lot of people get married through through meeting at the Newman Center. It's a pretty, even if you think what the activities going on there are cringe, because some of them, I'm sure people think that way. But even if you think that, there's still going to be people there that you'll like and get along with because you're all Catholic.
Yeah. I had a roommate in college who was Catholic, who was often at the Newman Center. I was not Catholic then, so I was never there, but I hear good things.
We got Desiree saying it's my Jesus here. Yeah, my kids reminded me. They're like, Dad, that's the year Jesus got crucified. I'm like, thanks for reminding me. Thanks. Is there anything that's going to happen? Or anyway.
I heard
Desiree also said you should be her mom just because.
Did you ever hear the story about Desiree and the shoes?
No, although I do know you guys both have the Mormon story, so there's that.
Oh, do you have a Mormon story, Desiree? We got to hang out. We got to talk about that. I don't think I know that. We went to the National Eucharistic Congress. I live here, but she was there, and she brought heels. Like all she brought was heels to the National Eucharistic Congress, and we were doing the procession. And so I gave her some shoes, like out of my closet. I was like, "Here, have some shoes so that you can do this procession without dying." And she still has them to this day, or at least she did until before she moved. So she's got a pair of my shoes. But to be fair, I told her she can keep them. So
basically, you saw Jurassic World where the woman was running in heels the whole time. You're like, Desiree, you don't want to do that.
You don't need to be doing this. I live here. I can just bring you a pair tomorrow. It's fine. That's what I did.
There you go.
Yeah, this is how Desiree and I became like this, and now I am her mom.
Got Haley in the chat.
Hey.
The OG mod for this channel.
Oh,
Haley. Probably most channels, honestly.
That's true. She's very good at modding. She's a good mod.
And we got Lepanto reminding us how old we are talking about AOL.
Thunk. They mailed it to you, Lepanto. They mailed you AOL. You got a CD in the mail. It was ridiculous.
Recently, there was enough people still using that service that they still had it functional.
Yeah, I heard somebody had an @AOL.com email address the other day. I was like, I'm sorry, what? How do you even check that? I don't even know. That's crazy.
Well, they changed the server it attaches to, and the AOL address just exists. It's not a big deal.
That's got to be a collector's item. At some point, you can like sell off your @AOL email. That's got to be cool.
I still have a Hotmail address.
Katie, guess what? I interviewed Luke on EWTN over the weekend in person. We met Luke Carey.
I think that's who she's talking about. She said she still wears your shoes, by the way.
I'm glad. They're good shoes. I mean, I like them. I think that they were retired running shoes, though. So they were one of my earlier pairs. There you go.
All right. Yep. She said she still has them. She said yes. Okay.
So, sorry.
I'm going to put the users in a timeout for a minute. We're going to have back to our conversation here.
Okay.
So how did you get involved in doing a marathon for charity? How did that all come about?
Oh, I'm an idiot. I don't know what's wrong with me. There's something sincerely wrong with me. I ran a 10K in September of 24. September of 24, I ran a 10K, and I was like, I bet you I could run a half marathon. So I signed up for the Indy Mini. My husband got me signed up for the Indy Mini for Christmas, and I decided, actually before I even signed up for the Indy Mini, I signed up for the Chicago Marathon because my chat from from Twitch, they're still in my Discord. I don't stream anymore, but they're also like, we saw Liz come in earlier. That's because I posted about it in the Discord. They're all still in there. And they were like, hey, did you know that you could run this marathon? Because you're like so proud of me for running. And I ran 100 miles on stream in October that year. And they were like, just sign up for it. It'll be great. And you can do it for this charity. It's a perfect charity because it's a food bank, because it's a cooking channel, and they're Catholic. They're all nuns. So it was Our Lady of the Angels food bank. And they also have a school and, postulancy and all this, blah, 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 blah. Great charity. And I was like, okay, I'll sign up for it. It's a year from now. What do I know? Blah, I'm an idiot. Just absolute moron. So I ran the half marathon, the Indy Mini, in May, and then in June started training for the actual marathon. And honestly, the only reason that I was able to complete it was because people were praying for me through Twitter, and they raised all this money for Our Lady of the Angels that I was like, I have to finish this stupid marathon because I cannot believe everybody invested so much of their time and prayer in me and their money and all of these things. So I was like, I have to get this done. And now I'm trying to trick other people into doing other runs with me. Hey, Desiree, you want to run the Indy Mini in May? We're going to go to Chili's after. You can come too, Chris. Do you want to run the Indy Mini in May? It's just a half. 13.1.
May is a bad month for me. I got 4 birthdays in my family. 3 of them are my kids.
May. It's barely.
That's when my youngest daughter's birthday is.
Does she want to get into a stroller and run for 13.1 miles and then go to Chili's afterwards? Because I do. I'm trying to weasel as many people like from Catholic Twitter to go run the Indy Mini and go to Chili's after.
Listen, I would not be hard to convince to run something, but May is a bad month for me.
Well, I can't get them to move it. Like the 50th running. They're not going to move it for me.
No, I wouldn't expect that either. But maybe in the future when I've got more time to run, I would look at that, doing something like that.
It's like the marathon thing is a freaking it's a part-time job. It's a part-time job.
The longest run I've ever done in my life was like 10 miles.
Oh yeah, you'll do one of those while you're training for a marathon. You'll do a couple.
Well, I used to do cross country in high school.
Yeah,
so it's 5Ks. That's not, it's like 3.1 miles is a 5K, something like that.
Yeah, that's more than most. You should do that. I'm not a runner. I'm not sure how I ended up into this. How did I get in this? Ugh.
Oh, I actually know what she's talking about. I've heard of POTS before.
Oh, I don't know what POTS is.
It's like a heart rate thing. She can correct me in the chat, but basically a lot of people with it have a high risk of fainting.
Oh, I have low blood pressure. I'm supposed to faint a lot, but I never do.
But POTS is specifically like a condition of the body that
got it.
Any kind of workout could lead to passing out, and it could even lead to heart attacks and death. So
don't do that. You got too many kids for that.
Yeah, no, she can correct me. I might be off on that, but seriously, there's charities raising money for it, and there's really no, as far as I'm aware, there's no cure or remedy for it at this time. Yeah, like it acts like a heart condition, but it's not. Yeah, that's right. It affects the heart, acts like a heart condition, but it's not a heart condition. That's right.
Oh, that sucks.
I used to be a lifeguard when I was like 16, and there was this girl at the pool that had POTS, and she would occasionally get out and pass out during like workouts. So
maybe she should not do those in pools. That's where you're gonna die, ma'am. If you just do it in a gym, you just fall down.
Yeah.
No drowning in a weight room. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not identifying the person who had it because that would be probably wrong to do, but that was crazy.
It's probably a HIPAA violation of some kind. I don't think you're supposed to say that. Yeah.
Although I was not a medical professional now, and I wasn't one back then either. So I was told freely about it.
I gotta figure out how to raise money through this Indy Mini thing, because like the Chicago Marathon has its own like fundraising platforms and whatever. I gotta find a fundraising platform so that I can raise money for Vagabond running this thing, because I think that would be amazing.
All right. She says that if you eat lots of salt to help, but she still hates running. So you're not going to convince her.
Is it just low blood pressure? Because I have low blood pressure, so maybe I have this thing. I want to know.
No, POTS has other things associated with it. There's an actual like POTS stands for something, but I can't tell you what it is. Maybe Desiree can tell us in the chat. Okay. Anyway, if you are looking for charities to donate to, though, people should put their ideas in the chat for Mrs. RUVI to look at.
Like ways that I can funnel money to vagabond, because they don't have like, I love them to death. They're wonderful people, but they don't have like a thermometer. You can't like see how much you've raised. I was like, I need a leader board. It's no fun to fundraise for things unless you can win.
Postular orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. Tachycardia is I know that word's related to the heart. I do know that.
Yes. Blood circulation disorder affecting the autonomic nervous system. Wow. Fatigue and brain fog. I don't want any of this.
Yeah, it's not just low blood. It's not just low blood. No blood. I almost said blood pressure.
Low blood.
Low blood pressure. It's not that.
It's not that. Well, I have one thing.
All right. So you've done quite a bit of traveling. What would you say is the most interesting part of missionary work related to your traveling?
Oh, man. I love the missions so much. Like, one of the things that happens when you become an online Catholic creator, you tend to get stuck in very American liturgy war kind of things. And it's not that they're invalid. There's definitely something to be said about whether or not there's truth and beauty and whatever in the liturgy. But when you go to India and you see that, like, it's not nobody's worried about who's kneeling to receive communion or whether or not there are altar rails, because the only chairs in the place are plastic, like lawn chair type things, and only the old people get to use them when you're out in the actual like missions, not in the cities. In the cities they have pews, but like it just changes the entire discussion. We're not even having the same conversation anymore. And you can look at these people and see that, like, when they're telling you the things that they need, they have this parish with nothing. It's basically like a shed that has a tin roof on it, and it's not beautiful. I mean, it's beautiful in its own way, but it's nothing like what you're thinking when you think of great cathedrals and the things that we want as Americans in our liturgy. They don't have that at all. But when you ask them, what do you want, like, financially, how can the Pontifical Mission Society support you? They're like, we would like our priest to have a car so that he can see us more than once a month. We would like our priest to live near us. We want a rectory. More than we want a beautiful church, we want a rectory, because we have a ton of priests in India, but we have no place for them to live here. So they have to come to us, and there's only so much ground they can cover. It's a large country, so there's only so much physical ground that they can cover per day, and so they don't receive the sacraments regularly. The things that we think of as being so very, very important are very, very important to us because of the level of Catholicism we're able to practice, and we need to view that as such an incredible, immense privilege to be able to be like, gosh, I get to go to Mass every single day of the week. I can go to Mass so often that I am now at the level of need of being able to nitpick whether or not this Mass is reverent enough, as opposed to like, I will take any crumb of Jesus you can give me. And just if you spend some time in the missions with that mindset, it sort of changes the importance of everything. I mean, definitely don't undermine the importance of the people, the experience of the people who are having it here in the United States. But like, you can sort of hold both of those things at the same time, right? Like, you can say like, this really is important, but it's also not as important as it could be at the same time. I don't know. Does that make sense?
No, it totally does. There are times in the church throughout history where there's been separations we're not even talking like schism. Like, for example, what is it? The Maronites? Yeah. They were basically cut off from the Pope and any type of messaging for like a long period of time.
Yeah.
And they remained Catholic by their faith and their willpower to
just hanging on by the nails, right? Like, some of the people you have in Asia that haven't received the Eucharist in 10 years. And, you've got people saying, oh, well, to be a practicing Catholic, you have to do X, Y, and Z. I'm like, those are practicing Catholics. I don't want to hear it. Like, the fact that they couldn't receive the Eucharist is not the same thing. And they're doing, it's just so beautiful. Like, the pureness and the truth of the church is so obvious in the missions. That's what I love about it. Like, you can look at these children who don't know anything, but they know the name of Jesus and they know the name of Mary. They don't have a liturgical preference, but they know that you're here because you are here in the name of Jesus, or you're here in the name of the Pope. Like, that's incredible. And they're so excited to see you. And it'll change your faith completely. If you have the opportunity to go to the missions, go.
Have you ever heard about like the origins of Christianity in Korea?
Yes, my friend Megan Humor is a big fan.
Yeah, isn't it basically like, okay, correct me if I'm wrong, this is the story I've heard. The Bible somehow found its way to Korea before any priests did.
It's
And
self.
essentially they learned about Christianity from the Bible. So when a priest showed up, like, oh yeah, we know all about this.
Yeah, it was the only church in the world that started itself basically without a missionary. They got a Bible, and then when the priest shows up, they're like, "Hey, you know Jesus? We know Jesus." And the Koreans are so cool. I'm so excited. World Youth Day is going to be in Korea in 2027. I got to get in on that. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm going to weasel my way over there. You want to go? We'll figure it out. Come on, Chris.
No, I don't. I'm not a missionary. I'm not going to pretend to be one. But
no, but it's World Youth Day.
I have. So here's the thing. I have a lot of stuff that I am committed to at home.
That's fair.
And so I have a very difficult time. Like going to the creators conference almost didn't happen this past year. I'm glad I made it. Thank God I was able to go.
Yeah.
But I have a very trying day job.
Yeah. I'm sorry. You should see if you can get yourself a husband that pays for things. That's how I made it happen. My husband takes very good care of us, and my husband's a great provider. I'd like to drag him with me sometimes.
I have joked about, and my wife's not going to do this, but I've joked with her about she could easily start some kind of a knitting, sewing, fabric channel. She is extremely talented at it, but she has no interest in being internet famous or anything like that. And I'm totally fine with that. I don't need her to be on the internet. Sometimes it makes things more difficult. Just depends on what you want to do.
There is this thing I was talking to Kyle's wife about it, that like, you know how, I mean, I can't speak to it because I'm not a man, but like there is this father hunger. I always talk about mother hunger, but I think father hunger is real, where like men on the internet have not had good, strong role models. Their own fathers either weren't participating in mass, or they didn't know them, or they were like encouraged to not be very masculine because the world, you know, how kindergarten through 12th grade is like, sit still, be quiet, look to the front. So that like those parts of life were not built for men. And so there's a lot of creators who are trying to fill that gap and create like a good, positive male experience, which I think is great. I think women don't have that, but I don't know how to fix that problem. Like, because again, like the problem of you're supposed to be with your children primarily, you know, it's a delicate balance. We basically need to like have a tag team situation where like, I'll do it this week, you do it next week. Like we'll pass it off, where like they learn those mother skills, like the sewing and the knitting and the baking and the cooking and the spending time together and creating family. And, you know, women create culture no matter whether we like it or not. Women are the people who set the culture. When women decided they wanted birth control, that's when we ended up in a crazy downhill. Everything went off the rails. Like whether you like it or not, women set culture, and we kind of need to have women in these spaces who are willing to do the kinds of things that your wife is good at. But then how do you fix that problem of A, they might get stalked, and B, they might not have time for their kids, or their kids might not like it, or they might have to just drop out. How do you do that? We got to fix that. I don't know how to fix it. Desiree,
there was a suggestion. It was more of a humorous suggestion years ago. You know how like do not think this is advocation for the site at all. It's not. But you know how like there's the OnlyFans thing. There's a thing called, they were joking around, like we used to have Only Grans, GRANS,
nice,
where they teach women how to do all those things.
That's funny. I like it. I like it a lot. Like I think that we do need to establish like a women's only space on the internet, but I don't know how you would enforce that. Like just because whenever there is like a good female creator who's doing something fun, like dudes get in there and they're like, oh, I think you're this, that, or the other thing. And then she gets upset and goes away. And then, you know, it's a whole thing. I don't know how to fix it.
I think siloed internet spaces is a good thing. I think it's a good idea.
I think it is such a good idea.
I think there should be female only spaces, but I also think there should be actual men only spaces too.
Yeah, but just don't let them have the porn.
Well, that would defeat the whole purpose of a men only space. Well, right. I guess some types of people might be into that, but that's not what I'm saying.
Oh wait, you're right. That would be. But sorry, I was thinking like gentleman's club style.
No, that's not what I was suggesting.
I got there. It took me just a second. Yeah, like one of the things that I think I've been doing all this research about people who are coming from an online experience of Catholicism to coming into the church, and when I speak to female creators or female like speakers and things like that, their perception is that the church has become so incredibly like scary right wing that they all want to like Handmaid's Tale, all the women. And then when you talk to the men, they think it's the exact opposite because they see these like softened statements from the bishops and things like that. And I think that this is a direct result of not having siloed statements. This is a theory. I'm willing to step back from this if I end up being wrong. So like I'm not going to die on this hill, but I have this theory that like, you know how you used to, when you were in like mixed company, you were like, oh, don't say that. There are ladies present. Like you
That
didn't.
existed. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a thing. And we like did away with that. And so now we're issuing statements that are that are like for a mixed group. But the bishops are still doing it in the there's ladies present tone. And the men are like, why are you using that tone? We don't do that anymore. It's very feminine and I don't like it. I'm like, can you issue a boy proclamation and a girl proclamation, put one on blue paper and one on pink paper, and nobody gets to read the wrong one? And I think that would solve a lot of our problems.
Well, it used to be that you would just put information on paper, and then you would do a set of men's conferences and a set of women's conferences, or a men's meeting and a women's meeting, and then the priest could tailor that to each group. It was so much easier when there were silos, because no one was getting either the women weren't getting their feelings hurt and the men weren't feeling like they were being feminized too.
Yeah, this is a problem when you try to mix things. It becomes a bit of a problem. We need is that anti-feminist? I don't know. I don't want to get in trouble with the ladies, but
well,
I just think
to be fair, I think at this point the church has recognized that actual feminism at the heart is bad, but women are good.
Sure.
Those are two different things. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
one's
true.
An ideology, one is a biological gender. They do not have to be the same thing.
Yeah, I used to tell people that I am a femininist. I'm a fan of the feminine, not feminism, but femininist. There you go. That's a real thing.
Like, but true femininity is a good thing,
right?
When women embrace their strengths, that's a good thing.
Yeah, we're not saying anything new though. Like everybody knows that current feminism is actually hating women. It's hating feminine.
It hates men and women equally. Feminism does.
Right. It wants women to behave more like men and men to behave more like women, and ergo everybody does things poorly.
Yes.
Let's just do it the other way. Anyway.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is I don't want to hang out with you anymore.
That's what I'm hearing. Let me just, I'll go. I need a beer and ribs, guys. That's true. It's true. You do. That's what Father is.
Telegram
does allegedly have these silos, but Telegram, like, I'm so torn on Telegram. Like, there are some good things about that platform. Have you ever really used it?
No, I don't even know what it is.
It's like, have you ever heard of Signal?
Yeah.
So Telegram is almost like a mix of Signal and Discord.
Okay.
It's a very strange platform.
It's Microsoft Teams?
No.
Okay. That's what I think. Signal and Discord together is Microsoft Teams in my brain.
Yeah, that kind of is too. But Telegram kind of existed in like this weird space where right-wingers could still use it when they were all getting canceled. And so it became a very right-wing used platform. And then like weird, extreme, hard leftists use it as well. It's like all of the very extremes are using it.
Great. So it sounds like a fun place to hang out and have dinner.
Well, you don't get canceled there. So there's that.
I think some people need to get canceled. Like, I mean, but not like they shouldn't lose their jobs. I just feel like we should be allowed to punch people in certain things. You know, like you should be able to go to court and be like, look, Your Honor, did you hear what he said about my mother? And then he's like, yeah, sir, you had it coming.
Pope Francis said that if people talk bad about our mother Mary, then we can hit them. So there's
excellent.
I have permission. It's part of my religion. My Pope said I could do it.
My Pope said I could do it. I'm pretty sure that Leo would go for it too. He seems like the type. He's got all those baseball bats.
I do really enjoy Pope Leo's conversations. There's some stuff that's a little confusing, but overall, I do like Pope Leo.
He seems like a really good egg. And anything that I've heard from him that was confusing, I feel like was sprung on him when he wasn't ready to talk, and that's not his forte.
You mean you're not ready to talk the second you get on an airplane and somebody shoves a microphone in your face and asks you about whatever?
Yeah. They gotta not talk on those airplanes.
Yeah. You know what? There's something we should talk about though. He immediately came out against the governor of Illinois for passing euthanasia laws. So there's that.
Well, duh.
I mean, like, people were asking him to go out. He's like, I already talked to him before he passed this. Like, I told him not to do it, and he did it anyways.
Ugh. The euthanasia thing is. So I feel like Father Harrison Eyre, he was on Clerically Speaking, he was talking about he's Canadian, and he was talking about like they've given the what?
MAID, you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, MAID, yeah. He was talking about that, but it was years ago before MAID had gotten into like a big thing, and he was like, Canada has basically given up the abortion debate, and we've moved on to euthanasia, like where there's just no question that they think it's okay to kill unborn babies. Now it's a question of should you be allowed to kill fully living humans?
Yeah.
And at the time, I was like, I don't know that you really should give up that yet. Maybe you should go. No, you're right. I'm sorry. You were correct. You should. My bad. Let me not talk about things I don't know anything about.
Yeah, it's a really interesting subject because the church is obviously against it flat out. But how do you fix it when the culture is fighting against you? And actually, that was something I kind of wanted to get into with you, because you spent quite a bit of time inside of like online culture and that kind of stuff, like society. And as a mom to, I forget, how many kids do you have again?
5.
5 kids. Okay.
Yeah.
How do we like navigate as parents, especially as a mother? You're a mother. How do you navigate this culture that's so like death spiraling?
Yeah, I have no great answer. One of like the worst things in my life that happened this year, the least impressive thing that I didn't do, but I was around. My nephew killed himself last year, in 2024. It's 5. Sorry. What year is it? In April. It'll actually, the anniversary of his death will be on Easter this year, which is like, oh, good. Anyway, he was born 2 weeks and 2 days before my oldest daughter. Like we shared a baby shower, my sister-in-law and I did. I told my mother-in-law that I was pregnant with my daughter at the same time my sister-in-law told her that she was pregnant with my nephew. They were like, they grew up together. And he committed suicide in April. And I spent the entire like summer, probably even into the fall. Like it took forever for me to like come out of that fog from it, because it's just this question of like, how do you address that level of sadness and suffering? Because it's not like he didn't know it's not that he didn't have access to suicide hotlines. He knew where they were. Like he was online. Everybody knows about them. These are things that people are aware of. He knew his mother loved him. He knew his dad loved him. But just the culture teaches you that this doesn't matter. Like it's just not that big of a deal. I think that's the bigger issue. It's that he didn't think it would matter. And that's one of the worst things I can think of. And I don't have a solution for it at all. Except to remind people that they are their bodies. Like we need to get back to the theology of the body in a way that's not just about sex. Like your body matters. The things you do with your body matters. You are your body. And when you cut off your body from your spirit, something violent and terrible happens. And like, we just need to get back to understanding that we are an embodied soul and that matters. That I think is the bottom line. But as far as addressing the sadness, like this is one of the reasons I won't give up on the internet. Why, when people, I interviewed lots of people for this project who are like, the internet is wicked and we should just let it go. Catholics shouldn't be there. You shouldn't be trying to convert anybody. You shouldn't be trying to be loving to people on the internet. I'm like, I just can't. I can't say that it makes sense to just abandon kids like my nephew to never hear that Jesus Christ loves them and that they are worth living. They're worth not just living for, they're worth dying for, they're worth everything. So like, I don't know how to fix it, but it is just so profoundly broken.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'll have to tell you something else offline after never mind. We'll talk about that later, but I'll pray for your nephew for sure.
Thank you.
And hopefully whatever torment he's going through is temporary, and hopefully his soul makes it up to heaven, obviously.
That would be ideal. I offered up all of the marathon training for my nephew. That was pretty awful. So I have a lot of hope there. But the podcast that I did with John Blevins is about movies for kids. There was a movie that came out this last summer that was accidentally awesome. Elio. So if you read anything about it prior to this, it was supposed to be a pro LGBTQ movie. But when it became apparent that like this is not going to go well, they scrubbed it and they took all of the LGBTQ references out of it. And now it was just like a kid whose parents died, who was being raised by his aunt, who was weird. Like other kids around him didn't like him. Like he just didn't get along with other kids. He was probably on the spectrum or something. And he sends himself to outer space and thinks that that's the right thing to do. And he meets another alien there who's also weird and thinks his parents don't love him. And in both cases, like the weird worm alien parent and the weird kid, anti-parent are both trying super, super hard to get their kid back. And he at the end of the movie, he comes back to Earth and finds his aunt still searching for him. And he's like, I thought it wouldn't matter. And she was like, of course I'm looking for you. And I just lost it. I was like, you just accidentally made the most pro-family movie I've seen in a long time by just taking the message of what you wanted to say to LGBTQ kids and instead just making it about family. Like we're just so close. Why can't we just get there? I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, the attack on the family is real.
It's huge.
I forget, was it JP2 that said that? Or no, it was Fatima. All the way back in Fatima, they said the last attack would be on the family.
The family, yeah.
And at that time, it probably felt like that was a strange message, considering families were tight knit. Everybody's having tons of kids.
Yeah.
And now it's like, how many people have more than 2 kids? Even 1 kid these days.
Yeah.
I mean, I can even in my own family, only some of my siblings have kids.
Yeah. And most, like a lot of people that I encounter online that don't have any kids think that kids hate their parents and that parents hate their kids and all of these, like, even if you manage to get the kids, people seem to think that there should be some sort of anonymity there, not anonymity, animosity there. That isn't. And like, I just feel like we need a little bit more of that, like positive, sort of the same problem that you have with women on the internet, right? When you're trying to show like a positive, happy family, that necessarily requires you to put them on the internet. And then now you've got this weird, like, are we, putting our kids out there? We shouldn't. It's so hard. It's such a hard thing to navigate. And I think the real thing is that we need to have more in-person stuff. There needs to be more like inviting people offline into real life.
But do it safely. I mean, there was John Blevins. I don't want to talk too much about your podcast friend, John Blevins, and probably IRL friend at this point, I would imagine as well.
Oh, but, yeah, real. I see all the time.
Right. I that was a joke. I know you guys are close, but the conversation he had during his speech where he's talking about how they used to just have like an open invite to even like people on Twitch to his cookout thing he was doing.
Yeah.
Let's be safe. Let's influence people, but let's be safe about it.
I did that same thing. I had so many people from my Twitch community come to my house before, like one of my kids was like, I'm not comfortable with this. And I was like, right, sure. That makes sense. My bad. We don't have people over anymore. Like, except for like a couple of them that had been over so many times that it's like, we know this guy now. It's fine. Katniss is still allowed to come over if he wants with his family, but
Katniss.
Cadmus.
Oh, I thought you said like Hunger Games. I was like, what?
Cadmos. Cadmus.
Okay, that makes more sense.
He hid weird stuff in my house last time he was here.
Off on the shelf or otherwise?
It's just like weird statues. Like I was like, where did that statue of a balloon animal dog come from?
You're like midstream and you notice in your backdrop, you're like, what is that?
Yeah, like several times I was like, wait, what's going on there? Did I buy that? I don't remember that being there.
All right, let's see here. Is there any other good? Oh, you know what? How did you become a Detroit Lions fan? And I think I know how you've become fans of various sports teams. But why don't you tell the story here? Because I don't know if everybody knows those stories. Yeah,
so I once made a joke on stream on Twitch that if you ever buy a jersey for a team, you have to be a fan of that team for life, because jerseys cost like $150 at the time. And I was like, if you're going to pay $150 for a t-shirt, you darn well better love that team forever. And one of my viewers is my friend now, Jeremy. He is a beat writer for the Detroit Lions. And so he sent me a Detroit Lions jersey for a guy who was then a lineman, John Penasini, whose last name is spelled Penasini. So everybody thought that was funny. So I had a jersey that said Penasini on it, walking around my Twitch chat all the time. And so I was like, fine, now I'm a Detroit Lions fan. And thankfully for me, Detroit Lions had Hard Knocks that season. So I got to see like the whole backstory, and Hard Knocks will do a lot to make you love a team. It's sort of like Drive to Survive. Like if you watch it, you're going to be a fan of the thing. So we got real into the Detroit Lions, and that was, thank God, that was 2019, 2020, I think. It was the year that they hired Dan Campbell. So like that season was terrible. It was like 16-3 or something, or 15-3, 13-3, 13-3 is the right answer. It was a really, really, really bad season.
You mean 3-13 wins and losses?
Yeah, I always do that backwards. Whatever.
Well, 13-3 sounds great. So I was like, what are you talking about?
No, 3-13. They lost all but 3 games in that season.
Okay. Well, at least you missed the 0-16 year. I was a fan during that.
I did. I missed that one. But yeah, so then now I'm a Detroit Lions fan, and now for the same reason, I am a New Jersey Devils fan, and a Minnesota Loons soccer fan. They have a
Loons? Interesting. I've never heard of this team.
They have a goalie named Eric Dick. So of course I have his jersey. Let's see, what else do I have? I don't have an NBA team. Somebody needs to mail me one. There you go. Oh, and I'm a Mariners fan. Forgot about MLB.
Okay, how about let's go on to how did the Is This For Kids podcast, how did that, we didn't talk about how that got started yet, right?
No, it was John's idea. John had an idea for a podcast, and when we were at that thing in Florida with all of we're sitting next to Katie McGrady, for goodness knows how I got into that situation. I'm like, I'm friends with Katie McGrady now. I don't know what just happened. It's wild. But John was talking about this podcast he wanted to start. He was going to call it Digital Dad, and he was going to just give recommendations just by himself. And so we were like roundtabling it and having like a sort of a workshopping ideas kind of a thing. And everybody was like, yeah, John, that's great. And I'm the only person who's close enough with John to tell him he's an idiot. So I was like, I mean, he's not an idiot. It's a great idea. But I was like, John, nobody's going to listen to you if it's just a man telling women make those decisions for their children. For the most part, it's the mothers who are going to make that. And while they will value your input, you need to have a woman on that show. Like, it has to be a mom and a dad. And if Jody's not willing to do it, you need to find some other mom who will do it with you. And he was like, will you do it with me? And I was like, yes, I will. So then we ended up doing it together, and now it's on EWTN, which is cool. For a long time there, people thought we were married to each other. We were not. So several of our intros are like, I'm married and I have 5 kids. Not to him, though. Not married to him. There you go.
It is funny when a man and a woman work together online. Everybody just assumes there's some kind of relationship going on, and it's like, nope. That's not how things work in the business world usually. No,
we have a friendship, and I've seen his feet more times than I'd ever like to. But the man wears sandals.
I think once is enough for most people.
Yeah, he wears sandals, open-toe sandals, every single stream. I'm like, it's 4 degrees outside, John. Why are your feet out? Gross.
Yeah, he. I definitely saw his feet. He rode in my car a few times.
Gross. I'm so sorry. John has problems.
If it makes you feel better, though, we did have Italian dinner together. That was fun.
Oh yeah, he's a fun guy. He's a great guy. Big fan of John.
He is, yeah. I mean, I'm a big fan too, but I've only met him once. I would say acquaintances or friends if John would agree to that. Whatever he says is accurate. So
he's friends with everybody. John's like a puppy. Accurate, yeah. He's always happy to be around people. So
anyway. So the creator conference, you're going to be there again this next year, correct?
That's the goal. I might only be there for a day or so, day and a half.
And you think everybody who's Catholic creator should go there. Do you have any questions for me?
Oh my gosh. How many kids do you have?
This is our 6th coming next April.
Oh, congratulations. It's a good number of kids. Yeah. And you're 33?
That's correct.
Oh my gosh. You're going to have so many kids. Do you have the big van yet?
No, actually we have a modification coming here in March for our minivan that's going to add the 8th seat.
Oh, cool. I just had to replace my van. So now I have a Kia Carnival. It has 8 seats. It's pretty cool.
The European Kia Carnival does 10 seats.
What?
Yeah, look it up.
Why? The Europeans don't have any children.
Or maybe it's the one, where's Kia originally made at? That's not Japan, it's Korea. Maybe it's the Korean version that has the 10 seats. But basically, they delete the trunk space and add 2 more seats.
I need that trunk space, though, because you got to go to Costco when you have this many kids.
You can fold it down. It still folds down.
Okay. So you just can't take all the kids to Costco with you.
Right.
Fair
so
enough.
you either got to leave a couple kids at home.
Yeah.
Or you got to not have any space for anything else.
Yeah, we thought we were going to have a million kids. So we bought the giant van, and then we found out that Mary was very likely medically to be our last child, which was
Oh, okay.
mildly heartbreaking because I'd already bought the big van and I was so excited to have all these other kids. And then it was a whole kerfuffle to get Mary in the door in the first place. And they're like, yeah, no, that's going to be your last one probably. And I'm like, I got to return the van. I got to go get a different van. I don't need all these seats. It's ridiculous. And then like if you have a water bottle in the back of the giant van, you hear like roll by. It sounds like a dump truck. It's out of control, really. All right. What is it? Are you willing to tell me what your real life job is? The very scary full-time job?
I'm willing to tell you that I went to school for engineering. How about that?
Interesting.
So I had an engineering job for a while, electrical by nature. That's a weird way to say that, but my degree is in electrical engineering.
I'm too old. Everybody else in the audience, like, I don't even know what that means.
I know what that means.
Good. I'm glad. I want to know who's worse, John or Kyle. Worse at what? Depends on the cat.
We're talking about feet?
Because I don't think I've ever seen Kyle's feet, and I spent a week in an Airbnb with him. He usually had his feet covered. No, he did have his feet out a couple times. But we were sharing it with a bunch of teenage boys, so it was like, don't walk barefoot in here. It's weird. That's the oldest I've ever felt because there were all these like young content creators making their spazzy little TikTok style content. And like they were like, we're all going to run in the door really fast. Okay. And then just like run to different rooms. I'm like, I'm not doing that. What are you doing? We were at, was it the Castel San Angelo? And they're all walking around like making content, like moving their cameras super fast everywhere there. I was like, this is bananas what you're doing. I'm going to go get a cow to lick me, which is what I did.
You went and got a cow to lick you?
I didn't mean for the cow to lick me, but it did. I went to go pet the cow and it licked me. And I was like, the Pope's cow just licked me.
I thought you meant that's what you were trying to do. And I was like, why would you want that?
Covered my hand in peanut butter.
Like most people will see a cow tongue at the store and you can buy them and you're like, nope. But you're like, let it come and lick me. Like, what the heck?
No, I just wanted to pet this cow, but it was like, this is a lot, cow. I need you to calm down.
You're just like, cow, just be thankful we're not doing cow tipping today because you would not like that.
Right? Poor cows. I can't get back up. I think he means about the feet. He says, LOL, yes. Yes, LOL. Yeah.
And Danny's very interested as well.
Yeah, I assume, I mean, John's worse at showing me his feet. Kyle's feet were fine. I don't have any problems with Kyle's feet.
I was thinking back. I think I've seen Kyle's feet as well.
Yeah. It's a weird conversation.
Pretty sure I've seen them. Yeah.
Next summer, are you going to be there next summer, guys? Are you going to show me your feet? We're going to have a feet off. That's what we should.
Not.
Like those, those things where it's like baby pictures and you try to match them up. We should do that with feet. Mine are horrifying. I ran a marathon, so you should see how gross my feet are. They're almost normal again, but like ballet dancers, similar.
I watched a documentary where a really fat guy decided to do the 100-mile race that goes on in like a couple different places in the country.
Yeah.
You should have seen his feet after he was done. I mean, he showed it. It was like, whoa.
Yeah. Ugh. Gross.
I mean, really, Desiree says it correctly. No one gets the dogs for free. Okay. I agree.
I was talking to Chris in the car on the way to the conference about feet pics and like, are they immoral? Because like, it's just a foot. What's the deal? Like, I don't find anything attractive about it. And he's like, I think the problem is that you know what they're being used for. I was like, do I though? Like, I have questions. Can I make a couple $100 off some feet pics? What are the rules? I don't know. It feels wrong.
Yeah, this is awkward. Danny said he used to pride himself on his toenails. Now he's ashamed of how they turned out. This feels like a very George Costanza conversation, like when he was the hand model. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes. He was dating the hand model, wasn't he?
No, he was the hand model.
Was he? Oh, yeah. I think that's wrong.
He like goes there and like the guy's like looking at his hands like, your hands are perfect. Like they've never seen a day of work in their life.
Never. That's amazing.
And then he like accidentally gets his hands burned, like scaldingly burned.
No.
Because and then his modeling career is over.
That's so sad. Oh, like Roman Grosjean. Do you watch F1 stuff?
Like Formula One racing?
Yeah.
No, not really.
Oh, you have to watch Drive to Survive and then you will.
I
Everybody
would
watches.
consider it.
You
The
should.
the closest thing to being interested in racing I ever got was the Need for Speed series.
I don't know what that is.
It's street racing in a video game form.
Huh. Well, there you go. That
It's like if you took Fast and Furious and said, let's make a video game out of this.
I think they did, didn't they?
They did, but Need for Speed predates I think it predates the Fast and Furious franchise.
I think the fact that Paul Walker died in a car accident is ruins the whole Fast and the Furious for me. That's really kind of a bummer. I think,
Well, then they AI'd him into the end of the movie.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they did. You didn't hear about that?
I only watched the first Fast and the Furious. I'm not on episode 9.
I want to say it's Fast 7 is when he died. But at the very end, the last scene, it's like it almost is like, you know how people say aura and they mean like you're popular, but this looks like physical aura around the body. Like he's in heaven or something.
Yeah, like when what they did with the at the end of Star Wars when they put Hayden Christensen into it.
Yeah, kind of like that. But they basically they took Paul Walker's brother and had him film the scene, and then they like just put Paul Walker over his brother to finish the movie. Like he died right before the movie ended. Essentially, they rewrote the end of the movie to have him leave like on a high note.
So gross.
And that's when that song "See You Again" became part of the scene as well. The Wiz Khalifa and Charlie Puth. That was that song.
I don't know that one.
My friend was a huge Fast and Furious fan. So like he filled me in on everything pretty much before I went and saw Fast 7.
I feel like the types of people who like Fast and the Furious movies and people who like WWE is like that Venn diagram is just a circle. It feels like
I don't think my friend that likes the Fast, he's a big race car person.
All right, maybe that's it. Chris says Drive to Survive is fire, but he's too broke to catch up on seasons. What does that mean? Like, do you need
paying for streaming or something?
You need a Netflix login? Because I can give you one of those. I got that.
All right.
Although stop you from it now. Sorry, go ahead.
I got a couple last questions for you then.
Okay.
Best video game you've ever played since you're all about the media and this is for kids and all that. What's your favorite video game for you? And then what's your favorite video game for kids?
StarCraft is my favorite video game of all time. It's the best video game. I love StarCraft. I play it all the time. If I'm waiting for you to start a meeting, I'm probably playing StarCraft. I was playing StarCraft when we started this conversation here. For kids, like nowadays, I really like. Oh gosh, hold on. I have to pick. I'm going to pick something that's too old and everybody's going to make fun of me. But I really like Among Us. I think that Among Us is a great game for kids because it's like a good deduction game. Like it requires them to pay attention.
What age are we talking though? Because there is like the mischievous and very gruesome deaths in cartoon form.
Yeah, they upped that ante in the last couple of years. It didn't used to be that bad. Can you filter it? I think you can filter it. I
have no idea. I've only played it as an adult with other adults.
Yeah, I think you can change it so that they don't have bloody deaths for kids. But I would say 8 and up because it's still cartoon characters. Like it's fine. Yeah, and I think that we underestimate the value of online board games as well. So like the online version of Ticket to Ride is so much better than the regular, like the in-person version because there's no pieces to pick up. You have to keep track of crap, which is great. And then, gosh, fun games that kids like.
I've been hitting my kids with retro games. My 2 oldest boys, they're 6 and 8. And they're playing Pokemon Yellow, like OG Pokemon Yellow.
Okay, nice. I like if you can get yourself like an old emulator that they had for like in Super NES kind of games. Those are super fun to play.
I've got every Nintendo console from NES to minus the N64. Even though I grew up on it, I don't have an N64. But I have the Wii U N64 and the Switch N64. So it's like, what's the point?
Yeah, that's fair.
And they're really expensive to get into with N64 cartridges and controllers and everything else.
Yeah, they really are. That's why you go with the emulator. It's cheaper.
What I've got for this is sad. I spent a bunch of money years ago. I used to do a video game podcast for years. I've got what's called an analog pocket. You know what that is?
No.
So a company
I
called
mean, an analog
Analog,
pocket is just a pocket, isn't it?
I can grab it if you're that interested. Anyways, it's basically just a high definition Game Boy.
Okay.
Like literal, it plays cartridges. Like all of my cartridges from my childhood, I can plug it right into this device and play them directly.
Okay. That sounds like fun.
And they're releasing actually tomorrow. They're releasing what's called the Analog 3D. It's an FPGA based N64.
No way.
So it'll play all of the N64 cartridges. It'll run all of the accessories. And
how much does that thing cost you?
I think it's 240.
Okay.
That's for the new Analog 3D. They already did an NES, then they did Super Nintendo, and they did a couple other consoles, like some Sega stuff. They did the Analog Pocket, which actually plays pretty much any handheld you can think of pre-2000, and even does Game Boy Advance.
Wow.
And then now they're doing the Analog 3D, which is the N64.
Nice. Okay, you got to pronounce that name for me.
Pistachio? I don't know, whatever.
I did. I used to be a man.
Yeah. Yeah, he messaged me. He said she got me. That was a good comeback.
I'm really good. I always win 2 truths and a lie. Like whenever you go to youth ministry things and they're like, give us 2 truths and a lie. I'm like, I really love avocados. I used to be a man and my favorite sport is water skiing. Actually, that was 2 lies and the truth, but it's fine.
So they could pick anything except I used to be a man.
Yeah. Everybody's like, well, you obviously didn't used to be a man. I was like, obvious to who?
Joke's on you.
I win. Youth ministers hate it when you do that, by the way. They're like, why have you done this thing to me?
That's funny.
It is. What do you do with Vagabond? I missed it if you already talked about it. Sorry, I'm reading your chat.
Yeah. Where's that one at?
Mr. Lepanto. I can't click things.
I know you can't. I'm trying to find it now.
1, 2, 3, 4 back.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
There you
I
go.
missed that one.
So I'm on their board of directors. I get to vote on things like budgets. It's super fun. Once a year, we get to go to, we have like an in-person meeting in Pittsburgh. So that'll be cool this year. But like, I don't like to be a part of things sort of halfsies. So like when you're a board member, you're mostly supposed to just read budgets and whatever. But I was like, I want to know what my local Vagabond needs and like what they want to be like. I want to be able to represent this charity well. I don't want to just be on the board. So I went down to our, they call it an underground, where they hang out with the kids, and it's like across the street from a high school. And I went to their Christmas party this year because I have been on the board since December. And I went and hung out with them and watched what they did, and like the neighborhood kids, and just kind of looking at the room. Like, I don't want to say this the wrong way, but like looking around the room, these are not youth group kids. Like, you're looking around the room at a bunch of kids that they had to be like, hey, language a couple of times. Like it's not a middle class Midwestern group of kids. Like, it's not suburban at all. And they're down there and they're putting in the time and they're getting to know these kids. They're washing their clothes for them. Like, they have a washer and dryer there because some of these kids don't have access to that kind of thing. So, Catherine, who runs the joint down there, is washing their clothes for them. She's got after school snacks for them. She's feeding them 1 meal a week. And she's sitting there talking to them about Jesus Christ in a way that like matters to them. And she's invested in them. She knows who they are. They give them rides to and from like their houses. They have big vans so that the kids can go to this thing at night in downtown Indy, which is not a safe area. Like, they're doing such amazing work. Like, all the things that I said about the missions, the way that you can see the missions and how clearly these are the people that Christ came to save in the missions. You can see that at any Vagabond underground. And it's incredible the way that they're missionaries in the middle of the United States. So there you go.
Yeah. Meeting people where they are is one of the most important things you can do in missionary work. But a small thing that everybody can do is, wherever you are in your life, if there's somebody that's interested, even passively, about your faith, they ask questions, you should definitely evangelize by answering those questions.
Yeah. And talk about Jesus as often as you talk about all your other friends.
I've had a few people that I've worked with that have asked me about my faith, and they're both going to the church now. Nice. So
yeah, if somebody's willing to ask you questions, that's a huge thing. But like, I mean, just as much as you love Jesus, it would be weird. Like I always say, it would be weird for somebody to know me and not know that my husband Luis is the most handsome man in the entire planet because I say it all the time. And it would also be weird for you to not know that I love Jesus. Like, it just should be something that you say naturally. It shouldn't be weird.
If you got a rosary, keep it on your desk. I don't think, they can't fire you for a rosary. My goodness. I'd hope not anyways.
No, they wouldn't. Nobody would.
Or a Bible, whatever you keep with you that's Catholic, that's yours, that you consistently use or do, whether it's a prayer book, a rosary, the Bible, whatever it is, keep it on your desk. It'll provoke questions.
Yeah, and even if the only thing you ever say is just like, "Gosh, I really love Jesus," like you don't have to be a deep theologian. You don't have to be able to do anything. Just if you can be joyful about your faith, if like people can just see that you're happy that you're Catholic, that. Because there's a ton of people who are like, oh, I grew up Catholic and, Ash Wednesday, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's the only time you ever see them is when they want to be miserable together. You're like, okay, but could we do it like it's fun still? Like, we're going to the fish fry, baby, and it's going to be amazing.
And if you don't go to the fish fries at your church, you should work them.
You should. Or you should make a soup night for everybody that can't afford the fish fry because suddenly the fish fry is $68.
Well, depending on how many kids you have, it definitely goes up.
I can't afford the fish fry anymore. It's too much.
See, I actually, funny story. This will be the last story I tell since we're already 15 minutes past your bedtime.
Oh my gosh, I'm so
tired. But I met my best friend currently that I see all the time at it, working a fish fry with him.
Nice. So. I love it.
So if you're looking to even just meet people at your parish, volunteer. You will meet people. You will make friends. You will be happy.
Yeah, plus fish fry is super low stakes. Like, you don't have to be real good at theology.
Well, depending on no, I'm just kidding.
Some fish fries, your mileage may vary.
Oh, man.
Intense. Yeah.
Wendy's fish sandwiches are better than McD's. You know what I just had? An Arby's fish sandwich. Wow. I was shocked. It was very good.
I'm not eating fish sandwiches from a fast food place. It's not going to happen.
Arby's is, look, I'm not trying to like plug fast food because my wife is a great cook and I would rather her cook every day of the week. But her and I were both tired last night. We're like, you know what? Arby's sounds good. And so I drove out and got us Arby's and I had a fish sandwich and wow, that was a good fish sandwich.
You had a fish sandwich on a Sunday?
Yeah. That
is not feasting. It's Christmas. You had a fish sandwich on a Sunday in Christmas?
I like fish. Okay. Oh. It's not even hard for me. Okay. Fish is like my favorite thing.
Talk to you about how you get yourself some meat. It's fine.
Well, sometimes you've had meat already throughout the day and you're like, fish sounds good.
Now you've got the meat sweats and it's all over.
The meat sweats. Listen, I'm trying to cut out bread. Bread is my enemy. Okay.
Why? Our Lord hides himself.
No, not that bread. Not the bread of life. We're talking like, processed, highly processed, industrialized bread from the store. Not the Eucharist. I would never cut that out of my life.
Okay. I love bread so much.
I do too. That's the problem. So anyways,
that's when you start the running.
I'm following the advice. Okay. I don't know if you ever heard of this. Dr. Jay Richards. He's got a book called Eat Fast Feast.
Nope.
It's probably more geared for men, but it could be applied to some, especially like women that do athletic stuff.
Yeah.
But anyways, the book talks a lot about cutting carbs in order to start being better at fasting. And I've noticed that when I eat carbs, my fasting life is horrible. And when I eat less carbs, my fasting life goes better. So bread is a major enemy of my ability to fast.
So wait, what do you eat then? So like you're not eating carbs and you're not eating meat.
No, I eat meat. I eat meat.
Peanut butter on a fasting day?
Not on a fasting day.
Yeah. So like on a fasting day, you're just eating butter?
No, on a fasting day, nothing.
Literally nothing.
Yeah.
Okay. Not your 2 small meals and 1 regular meal, not to exceed the size of the 2 small meals when put together.
I try not to. If I start eating, it's over.
Being a man sounds so much nicer. You don't have like scary hormones that make you eat your children if you don't eat your 2 small meals and 1 regular size meal, not to exceed the size of the 2 small meals when put together.
Here's the rule for fasting that I observe. If I can fast and not be a grouch to my family,
that's nice.
Then I do it.
That's good.
If I can't fast without being a grouch to my kids and my wife, then I eat food.
Interesting. That's a good thing. I like it.
Because my vocation comes before my prayerful fasting.
That's my favorite thing. Whenever guys start doing Exodus 90, they're like, They told me that I had to eat my wife's birthday cake. Like, yeah, you do. Don't be a jerk. Eat your wife's birthday cake, you rat.
Yeah, I've looked into Exodus 90. I don't, with my job, it would be too tempting, the internet and all that. So
our parish does a thing called Magnify 90 to do with Exodus 90. That's like a ladies Magnify 90 or Exodus 90. I hate it. I have so many concerns. It's basically like, in my opinion, they've created a companion to Exodus 90 so that there's more marital harmony while the husband does Exodus 90, so that the wife is like also doing the same things, even though it doesn't address the spiritual needs of women. Like, they're like, oh, don't wear makeup during Exodus 90. I'm like, I don't know very many women whose pride manifests itself as putting on makeup. Most women are wearing makeup for their husbands. I know a lot of women whose pride manifests itself as refusing to accept their husband's leadership, but makeup doesn't do anything for that.
No.
I have a whole
makeup's not going to make or break that.
Pride. Yeah.
Now,
sure.
Some women do put on, especially when they post internet stuff, to compete with other women online, which is just an odd behavior that I didn't recognize growing up.
Yeah, I think some of that's real and some of that's just men thinking that's what's happening. But like, if they're married women who are just
no, it's probably more the single or like the huge content. It is a competition for them for sure.
Yeah. Well,
and some married women do too, but it's probably less.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. Some people are bad at everything. Hey, you have to go. I'm gonna fall asleep.
Listen, you're the one that kept us going with the Exodus 90 talk.
I apologize. It's my bad.
Yeah, you're good. On that note, where can we find you on the internet? Not stalking, but where can we find you with your podcasting stuff?
The fact that you have to say that is so wild.
It's because of the way that you said it earlier.
No, yeah, that's fine. That's totally fine. Don't show up at my house. That's number one. Number two, I'm Mrs. RUVI on anything. MRSRUVI. Oh, like this right here. Is this going to be on the screen? Right there. Like that.
What? Your actual thing?
Yeah,
but you're mirrored, so you were pointing to the side that has no name.
Oh, shoot.
Now you got it. That's
right there. Yeah, I'm Mrs. RUVI on everything. I'm on Instagram and I'm on the Twitter. I love the Twitter. Instagram, I mostly I'm bad at Instagram. I just post ads that I get paid to do, and then also like whatever comes into my head. I'm not good at the algorithm. I'm like, let's just talk about the fact that you need to take your kid's phone before they go to bed. Okay, bye.
I did find out that if you post before, this was I don't know if you know who Anthony Abate is or not, but he's one of the guys on Avoiding Babylon.
Catholicism?
Yes.
Yeah.
With the V and the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
He posted that if you post any of your what could go viral tweets before 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, they won't.
Oh, I don't want to go viral on Twitter.
but if you're trying to get attention or get some likes out of your posts, don't post before 8 a.m.
Nope, I'm just having a good time on the Twitter. I'm having a good time and I'm enjoying myself. And you should come hang out. It's fun. I'll try to get you to run a half marathon. Chris, you got to run a half marathon, by the way.
I want to actually, just not in May.
I'm at Eastleigh, but you too.
Oh, okay, fair enough. You're talking. I guess it does. Fair. It says Chris. Crash.
Yeah,
it says crash for me.
I know that you're both Chris. I don't know.
More people online refer to me as Crash than Chris. It's kind of funny.
Really? Oh, I'm glad I didn't know that when you drove me to the coffee shop.
It has nothing to do with my driving record.
Okay.
No, it really doesn't. Okay, I'll tell the story. I've told it many times on the podcast. It takes 5 seconds.
Okay.
Here's what happened. When I was in high school, a friend of mine who had a D name, it was D Danger. That was his nickname. It was a joke.
Mm-hmm.
This guy was not dangerous at all, but he was doing a rap with me, and he's like, so you got to have a nickname too. And I was like, well, if you're D Danger, then what am I going to be? He goes, you're Chris Crash. And I was like, okay, fine, we'll go with it. And that name stuck like wildfire. I mean, like literally, I have friends from that time period that still call me Chris Crash consistently.
Wow. Nice. I'm proud of you.
It's the stupidest thing ever. But
it was just a random thing somebody pulled out. There you go.
That's exactly.
Are we doing a team? Where do I join? I didn't make a team, but we're gonna make one up anyway. I didn't create a team, but we're gonna just make t-shirts. We don't need to create a team. That's fine. We'll just make t-shirts. That'd be great.
All right. Well, on that note, yeah, we'll definitely have to do this again sometime. Maybe I'll have a couple of maybe Desiree and you both come back. And we have you guys on to do some kind of conversation about Mormonism.
Oh, well, first of all, if you have two women on at the same time, your entire chat will explode. What are you trying to do right now? Are you trying to ruin your own life?
No, I don't
you
think
see
that's
like
what I'm...
6 men's rights people on in a row, and one of them's me in a mustache. That would be funny. That would be really funny. I'd have a great time.
I mean, to be fair, my podcast, they always go after me when I interview a woman for any reason whatsoever. But like 90% of my guests are men. So it's like, I don't know what the deal is, whatever.
That's funny. All right.
Anyway.
Bye, guys.
Yep. We'll see you guys on the next one. I'll be back Monday. Bye, guys.